Live from the City of Angels. It's Thursday night. The box office preview show is underway. And tonight, the live MMT of A24's new horror film, Undertone. Also, we will discuss Universal adding, well, sort of windows to their films. A step in the right direction, but not far enough. And I'll discuss that coming up. Oscars around the corner. Also, within the next 48 hours, I'm finally going to see Project Hail Mary. That'll be fun. Big shout out to Amazon for inviting me down to see it early. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me, man. If I have to sit through things like Undertone, I don't want to come early and drive across LA to watch them, because we have another situation tonight with a film that I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's unfortunate. You know, listen, again, I just want to make sure that you understand. I know that there's a few of you who've seen it that seem to like it more than me, and this is not a black and white film like The Bride, where if you thought it was good, you don't know what you're doing, okay? I understand maybe why you like this. I just think that it's hellaciously overvalued, and it's another one of these film Twitter films, right, that you hear, oh, this is just the best thing, so scary, so this, so that, as the plaudits pile on, and then you get to the real thing and you go, wait a second, this isn't really doing anything for me. And I really wanted to like this film because I like horror. You know, if you ask me, what film would Weber want to watch if he had one genre and here it is, you're going to the movies to watch, I would say horror, as long as it's not torture porn. As long as it's not Terrifier 4. I want to watch horror because I think there's some really cool stuff being done in the space if it's done right. But unfortunately tonight, I just don't see it that way. And here is the out-of-theater reaction tonight for Undertone. And here's really the bottom line. Whatever A24 paid for Undertone, and I understand that they bought this out of Fantastic Fest, was that right? Fantasia Fest, whatever the hell the festival is. They got completely ripped off. I hope it was cheap. I'm going to go look for the price they paid for this film here because it really feels like a bargain basement IFC film. Right? When you go to an IFC film, occasionally you're going to be surprised. But in general, you know the expectation is something along the line of all those films that we really got during COVID. Remember when they were the only distributor that was showing films at drive-ins and they had like the #1 film for the weekend because they had drive-ins going during the COVID hysteria when they shut everything down? You go back to those films, it feels like something that came out of that time period and is almost like a desperate buy here. I don't know why, because I don't see anything in this film that works. I was thoroughly bored. In fact, I admittedly fell asleep for at least 5 minutes. I was sitting there going, I can't do any. Okay, and two people down from me, a couple, they had their phones out the whole time. We had enough space where it didn't bother me, but I always like to look around and say, who else has a similar experience? And they're on their phones. And normally I might get angry, but it was luckily, you can see here, this is the prime theater at AMC Burbank, and you've got a little more space. I mean, you've got some room. It's got a recliner. I'm not really complaining, but yes, you can see me. Legitimately, this might have been post-nap, but it's still me napping. Okay, so you have to understand this is not performative. Oh no, film Twitter. This guy's the worst. Look at him. I'm so feeling cringe. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. You think I give a shit when you have to say, when you say Undertone is great? Sorry, if some of you like this in the comments, I'm not dragging you. I'm dragging film Twitter, right? They deserve it. They earn this shit. But let's get ready, and I'll tell you why I don't love this film. Here comes about 30 seconds or so of tonight's MMTE. It is Undertone here on this Thursday night. Let's do it.
You hear that? What is that? more that you listen, I like it here in the dark. The more you will hear the sound of the darkness. The sound of your fear.
You scared?
She's listening. She's listening.
Get ready for the jump scare, everybody. I wish I really felt that way during the film, but I was, again, snoozing as we build towards the conclusion. This is very much like The Ring, right? You hear it, you see it in The Ring, but you hear it, and then you're done. Bloody Mary in the mirror, right? Whatever it is, you do the thing that brings forth the entity, and then you're going to pay the price, typically death. And this film builds to something like that. But I just was not at all moved and really interested in what I was watching. There's a lot of things that I don't love here. As I lead with here, it's just a snoozy film with zero scares. It feels like cheap IFC. That is not a compliment, okay? There have been some good IFC films, but you look at a lot of their stuff and you just are expecting to be underwhelmed. You look at this, it feels micro-budgeted, right? I understand it is, but it really feels that way. Let me just tell you some of the reasons. Okay, you talk about this podcast that's being recorded in this young girl's house, and she's taking care of her sick mom who's on her deathbed. So you've got all that creepy stuff going on along with the religious motif because she was raised in, I assume, Catholic, but church one way or another. Got all this imagery. I think some of the cinematography is okay here. You know, it's nicely framed. There's a smaller aspect ratio to the film. But again, these aren't things to recommend to film, right? You got to have more than that. But you look at it and you're watching her do this podcast and she's talking the entire time to her co-host who's in the headphones. And what I found to be really not this is not a really good compliment for a director, right? If you're a director of a film that's doing something like this and you're going to cheap out and not have the other end, right? She's just talking. You never see the dude. All we get's a voice, okay? That is instantly telling me that you're doing this on a shoestring budget. Now, I'm not saying that you have to show him the whole time, but at some point, you just need to just establish the fact that here's this dude, something that gets back to the fact that you're working with one of the smallest budgets, I imagine. I mean, this thing couldn't have cost $100,000. I mean, it could. There's no way. There's nothing in this film that tells me it cost cash. Not a single thing. You know, you talk about this lead actress. She's weak. She is a very poor man's Jenna Ortega. You know, this doesn't work. Okay, so all the cracks are starting to appear in this film, and then it's so derivative of all these other films that you've seen before that actually, you know, were somewhat original at the time. Go back to The Ring again, and you talk about just bringing that whole concept of once you see it, once you hear it, you're cursed, you're going down. But you just are constrained by everything that just feels like we're not spending money, and obviously they didn't. But you look at it and you say, what would I have done to make it better? I mean, as I mentioned, I didn't even buy the podcast because it's like, first of all, let's go back to that for a second before I say how to make it better, because I don't think there really is a way. I just think that this film is just something that I would never purchase. I think that's our big picture. We'll talk about it here in a minute. But when you look at this thing and you talk about the podcast, I just don't, as they're taking live callers, who's listening to Undertone, right? How is she paying her bills? You know, there's so many questions. She's at home taking care of her mom, but we never see her go to work. You know, these are little things that as a writer, director, you've got to establish. Have her at the grocery store scanning items. Something that tells me that she has a way to pay for the house. The podcast? The podcast is paying for it? I don't think so. You mean podcasts are out there? She's not Joe Rogan, for fuck's sake. What are we doing, right? None of this feels like, how does she support herself, right? I mean, you can say that about what we're watching, but do I ever profess to be like a billionaire doing this? You know, she's sitting around at her house with her mom. What's going on here? You know, she's got her boyfriend. She's pregnant. This film is, I'm telling you, man, I really don't like this film. I really, really don't like this film because it is so overvalued. You know, it's another one of these films that all these people are coming in saying, oh, it's so great. It's scary. What are we watching? Someone said, you know, is it like Skinamarink? Skinamarink's better than this. Skinamarink is at least weird, right? Does it run out of steam? No question. But there's more in the first 20, 30 minutes of Skinamarink than all of this in 90 minutes. This is just been there, done that before. Zero scares, building up to what you knew was coming the entire time because they're warning you throughout this, listening to the audio tapes in reverse, right? Going back to the 80s. Remember when they told you if you play it in reverse, a song, you can hear all these demonic messages. Well, here it is, recycled in 2026. I'm giving it a 20%. And, you know, we talk quickly about how to fix this. You can't. You got to put a bigger budget on it. You've got to rewrite some of this. You've got to get rid of a lot of the stuff that we've done so many times before. It's not original. It's not scary. I can tell you tonight, I'm really bummed because I really feel like I wasted 2 hours of my life watching this film, right? The 90 minutes plus the trailers plus driving. Luckily, it's close. But whenever you feel like you wasted an afternoon or evening, even if I had nothing to do, sitting here in bed and taking a nap would have been more comfortable than in the recliner because I had luckily 2 recliners so I could kind of squeeze in and lean down. I really think that A24 would be wise to include pillows with this. That would be I would have paid for it like you're going on a flight. When you're walking in, would you like one of these, you know, cheap foam pillows, but still it's something to rest your head on because there's an empty seat next to you. You can lean into it and really kind of get a good nap. That's really the only, I'm sorry guys, it's what it is. It's 100% what it is. And I am, again, just flabbergasted that people, that's right, The Ring was made off of the Japanese movie, right? But you look at Ringu, is that correct, if I remember correctly? But you look at this and you just say again, A24, what are you doing? You bought this film. Let's go have a look because I just want to, you know, talk about that because this is, we love talking business here. You look here and you look at, there was competitive bidding for this film following the Fantasia Fest premiere. It doesn't say what they paid. Okay, you ready for this? Mid 7 figures. So they paid $5 million or so for this. Now, here's the reality. The film might open to $6-7 million this weekend. It probably will be profitable. But again, even at $5 million, there were 6 buyers in the mix. I don't know what they saw. Honestly, I just don't. If I was in the bidding, I would have just said, let IFC have this. I mean, right? Especially if I'm A24. And I mentioned this in my quick reaction. It's on the YouTube page, Midnight Movie Talk. You really talk about A24 making some real puzzling decisions. You look at some of the films they made. A lot of you did not even suffer through their worst film, without question. It's called The Front Room, which is Eggers' brothers directed a film because they wanted to glaze Robert Eggers. And it's one of the worst films that they've ever released. Really a film that has no business in a movie theater. None of you saw it, but trust me, if you go watch The Front Room, you'll come back and say, why? Why did you acquire this? Why'd you put your badge on it, A24? It just cheapens the brand. It tarnishes the brand, right? And that's really disappointing. This is and I heard someone in the comment say, you know, bring her back or talk to me. No way. Those films are way better than this film. Way better. Light years. Better from a directorial standpoint, better from a scare standpoint, better from an overall film standpoint. They bury this film. No question. The 2 brothers, right, the YouTubers, much more talented as directors than this. This is, again, if I saw this, I would go back and say this is an IFC director. I mean, look, you've got some framing, you've got some aspect ratio. Who fucking cares? You know, listen, go talk to Film Twitter and Letterbox people if that's what you want to talk about. That's fine. I recognize those things. That's not why. It's not doesn't make a film better or worse. I mean, it can. In this case, it doesn't. Okay, guess what we're going to do? We're going to have some fun tonight before I give you the actual box office prediction on this. You guys ready for this? I am going to do this live. We're doing it live. You ready? I got this on the way out of the theater. Okay. Do you see this? Watch out. I can't show you my QR code. They give you this to rate the film afterwards. You see this? The filmmakers want your feedback on Undertone. So here we go. We're going to make it. Let me make it bigger. And I'll read the questions to you. So here we go. We're going to answer the questions. Now, if I say that I'm a white guy, I've got to watch that. So I'm going to put in that I'm going to lie and say I'm 37. Okay, let's go here. Let's go to the next frame. Are you man, woman, we're going to go non-binary. That'll get us to the next level. We're jumping hoops here. Okay? Because I am an American, I'm going to say I'm a Native American. Right? I was born here. That makes me native. I am a Native American. I have completed college. And do I identify as LGBTQ? I prefer not to answer. That way we just get past that. We can move on. Let's go next. How often do you typically see movies in a theater? Well, at least once a week. I would say more than once a week. We are in the top percentile of movie going, so we'll answer that question there with this. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger, okay? When did you decide to see Undertone? Probably weeks ago. I wasn't paying attention to this film like forever ago, so we'll say weeks ago. That's fair. With whom did you attend? I came by myself. The only way to go to the movies. So if you go with someone who loves the film and you hate it, you don't get into an argument. It's wonderful. When did you first hear about Undertone? I'd say a few weeks ago. Why'd you decide to see Undertone? I would say A24 brand. And also horror. Okay, let's just put A24 brand horror. Which of the following have you done? Read a review? No, but I did see an ad. I saw buzz. We watched the trailer, so there's 3. I didn't read any reviews because critics suck, so that's not being checked. Let's go next. Which of the following reasons were very important in your decision to see Undertone? Hey guys, sorry. This is my channel. If you don't like me filling out a survey, then that's what it is. Go watch Chris Stuckman. Go watch Jeremy Johns. Go watch Grace Randolph. Go watch somebody else who sucks. This is fun. This is original live programming here. What are the reasons? Online social media buzz, sort of. Don't care that it premiered at Fantasia. Don't care that it premiered or showed at Sundance. The reviews, don't really care because I don't care. It's from A24. Yes. I'm a fan of indie art house. Yes. I'm a fan of horror. Influencers, hell no. Nina Kiri is in it. I don't know who. Is she the lead? I have no idea. That's enough. Let's move on to the next thing. In general, please indicate the extent to which you're a fan of the following. Horror films, very much a fan. Podcasts, not really a fan. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. What do you want me to start listening to? The Ringer and Sean Fennessy? You want me to stab my eyeballs out with a fork? I'm not doing that shit. Rip my ears out. Just jam a screwdriver. A Phillips screwdriver into my eardrums. I have to listen to Sean Fennessy, the fucking fraud. So no, I'm not a fan of Fennessy. Well, actually, that's not even hard enough. You knew I was going to get after that. I can't. I won't stop. I hope he replies to me because I'll just keep dragging his ass as long as I can. I'll drag him until the show's over. Whenever we do our last stream, I'll still be dragging him. That's it. Drag that guy. Fucking joke. All right. Which of the following best describes your perception of A24? Smart? Not anymore. So definitely not smart. Indie? Yes. Edgy? Yes. Relevant? I would say still yes. Experimental? I would say yes. Prestigious? Yes. Artsy? Yes. Not best in class? No, not anymore. Pretentious? Sometimes. Hit or miss? For sure. Thought-provoking? Typically. Innovative? And that's it. That's a lot. It's a lot of things. About the brand, right? Indie, edgy, relevant, experimental, prestigious, artsy, pretentious, hit or miss, and thought-provoking. That's A24. It's like erratic, right? You just never know what you're going to get. Okay, here's a list of various movie groups. For each, please indicate how much of a fan you are of the movies in the category. The first category, guys, is The Whale, Lady Bird, Zone of Interest, Moonlight, and Brutalist. Okay, The Whale's awful. Lady Bird, I liked enough. Zone of Interest, I really liked. Moonlight, I liked enough. Brutalist, I liked. So I'm going to say I like them. Next, Past Lives, After Sun, Florida Project, 20th Century Women, and Come On, Come On. Okay, quickly on these. Past Lives, not huge on that, but don't hate. After Sun, love. So now we're in the higher. Florida Project, I like a lot. I think it's one of their better films. 20th Century Women, never saw. Come On, Come On, I like, didn't love. I'll go, I like them. Okay. Hereditary, The Witch, Midsummer, Lighthouse, and Talk to Me. Hereditary, love. Witch, okay. Midsummer, pretty solid. Not as good as Hereditary. And then Lighthouse, awful, hated, and then you got Talk to Me, I like. So I'm going to say again, I like them. So we're all three are like them because they're mixing these up where we have one we hate and one we love. Okay, next is Civil War, Uncut Gems. Do not like either of those. No, I mean, I like Uncut Gems enough, but not as much as Good Time. The Disaster Artist, I like. We Live in Time, no. Wow, what a sappy piece of shit that film is. And then Materialist, I liked enough. I feel mixed about them. Okay, there we go. Next, this is going somewhere. Trust me. You know why you're going to stick around? Here's why you're going to stick around as I finish this. I am going to send a $5 gift card to someone who's watching right now. When I'm done with this, I'm going to put in one of your emails and you're going to get the $5 gift card because that's how giving I am. Isn't that nice that you sat through this? You get the $5. I'm not getting it. You are. I prefer movies that are relevant to the times. Somewhat agree. I'm already bored. Do I really want to finish this? Okay, if it goes like 3 more questions, I'm done. If it does one, I swear to God, I'm ejecting. Even the $5 isn't worth it. I feel like my time is well spent at the movies. Not really all the time. I prioritize indie movies with good reviews from critics. Somewhat, but even though I don't trust critics. I enjoy horror movies. Strongly agree. I care most about aesthetics. I mean, I like aesthetics a lot, so I'll give it there. How many more do we have? I'm sorry, guys. This is awful. I'll finish it, and then I'm not doing it for the rest. This is it. Now, Luis, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't do this. I'm going to go to another. We got to do the box office. This is all. Who wants to finish this questionnaire, for God's sake? Not to mention A24 will go ahead and DQ it. They watch my stream, they'll say, forget it. We're not doing this anymore. It's Weber. Weber's the worst. He's just talked to film Twitter.
This guy.
Fucking Island of Misfit Toys film Twitter.
This guy's the worst. He's just.
That's how they sound too.
I just don't know. All I do is watch movies. That's all I do in my entire life is watch movies.
Weber's badgering the film Twitterers again. Okay, well, look at this, guys. This is impressive. Look at Undertone here. Hold on, let me hit it. This thing is almost sold out for 10 o'clock tonight. Now, granted, again, it's the number one AMC in the world. This is Dolby because they've sold you that you can't see this any other way. Dudes, the audio in this film's not even like, are you kidding me? Dolby, who cares? Go see it at a theater. There's nothing scary in the audio, right? All of a sudden, there's some, you will die. Oh my God, that was worth Dolby. Wow. Did you really hear that? I really heard that demonic voice. We've seen this before. 100 times before, 1,000,000 times before. And this looks really, a lot of disappointed people at that 10 o'clock. I'll take this thing at 7 million. It's not very good. That's pretty bad. But, listen, here's the thing though. For the budget versus what they paid, let's say they paid 5-6 million for this. They're going to make at least the price tag back on that. The Bride opened with 7 million and cost 90. So this is, okay, you know what I'm saying? At least I'm being fair about this. But yeah. Super Mario Galaxy will come save the world for sure. Okay, let's do this. The other movie that comes out is that other what's her name? Colleen Hoover. I'm not seeing that. I'm not watching that movie. I'm gonna see Project Hail Mary either tomorrow or Saturday. I haven't decided which one. One of the two. And then we'll talk about it. Sunday night stream's going to be amazing. I got to save up for that. Our stream's going to be short tonight. You know why? Because Sunday night is Oscars postgame show plus the live MMTE of Project Hail Mary. Like, that's, I think, the biggest show we've ever had. I got to, rest up for that. You talk about post-game Oscars and then me doing one of the biggest films of the year, certainly the biggest this year, a movie that you've been told is a masterpiece. Well, we're going to find out Sunday night when I have both of those live. Okay, so Universal commits to Windows. I don't know why my banners keep disappearing, but it's super annoying. Universal commits to Windows. Now, here's the thing. Do they? They're saying, as I go to the New York Times, this is when they originally reported this, they're saying that they are, let me read this exactly right. They said they would immediately begin guaranteeing theaters a minimum of 5 weekends of exclusive play for new movies. So 5 weekends is 5 weeks. That is 35 days. Correct? That is not even a 45-day window. So why are you guys so excited? I wanted 45. We're under 45. Also adding here that Focus is still going to do a 17-day. Those small films that are getting bulldozed, they need help. They need some protection. I'm not saying everyone's running out to see a Focus Features movie because it has a window, but I'm just saying it's the overall mindset that if a movie's in a theater, you're not going to see it at home for 45 days. Not 35, not 17. AMC called the shift in strategy extraordinarily beneficial. You know what? Your CEO, Adam Aron, is the most worthless multi-million dollar paid CEO maybe of any company. He should have gotten this done 3 years ago. Remember we were talking about this back in 2023 when there was leverage, when you had Barbenheimer, when you had Spider-Verse. That summer was lit. And you had, Transformers? Was that even? That was Outperformer. Everything was doing well in 2023. You go and you say, here's the window. Let's go. Let's make it happen. He didn't. And now you're paying a price because you're sitting here with no window. Because now it's a 35-day window. But it's only Universal, okay? It's no other studios committed, and it's 35 days. You guys hear this 5 weekend, and you're like, oh my God, that's forever. It's 35 days, 5 times 7. 7 days, a weekend, every one, 5. It's 35 days. It may be even less, right? Because it's 5 weekends. It's not even a full week, so it's less than 35. So, look, the change is part of a wider effort by Universal to update its windows. Hollywood's shorthand for system of maximizing value by releasing movies first in theaters, then for digital rental, and later on subscription streaming services. Okay, hooray. This is just, you guys all bought into this like Universal are gods for doing this. Okay? Look, it says right here, Focus 17 days. I'm not excited about this. I know it's better than nothing, but it's not like something you guys should all be like the AMC stock shills out there. Oh my God, I'm so thrilled. We have saved the world. As movie theaters are getting bulldozed. Then someone said, well, that's an old theater. I'm sorry, did iPic just closed? iPic closed in Westwood and Pasadena here in LA. If theaters in LA are closing, I got news for you, bro. Your theater's in trouble. I'm sorry, man. Listen, I could literally spend the rest. We're 26 minutes. I could spend 35 minutes making fun of AMC stock shills. Do not make one thing your personality. It's lame. It's pathetic. You guys are sad. AMC to the moon, apes. Like, seriously, man, broaden your horizons out. I had someone come after me today saying, blah, 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 movie. I love movies. I go to the movies more than you. The difference is you're a performative clown, right? With all this shit in your thing, like AMC to the moon, AMC rocket apes. That's all they have in their bio. Like, dudes, you're so lame. Like, imagine, listen, I talk about movies, but also I'm at the gym. I got my football kits, okay? I go play volleyball. These people are like, AMC stock shill. Oh, stocks are the best. Here, you shorted AMC. Like, dudes, you're like gambling degenerates. You're part of a fucking cult. Stop. I can't. Why are people like that? Like, why do people do that shit? Well, I'm going to be part of this big group of people called AMC Apes, and we're going to say that everything they do is great, even if their CEO didn't do his job years ago. It's so sad. Like, do not make one thing your personality. Well, they make us white, but you know what? They get pissed because I stand up and say they're a bunch of clowns, cultish bitches. It's lame, dude. It's fucking lame. There's no excuse for it. Except you're sad. Why do you do that? Stop doing that. Be objective. And objectively, theaters are in trouble, man. What are you talking about? We cannot subsist on one big film every few months. In this case, Project Hail Mary doesn't come out till next weekend. Maybe it gets to 50, 60, if it's lucky, $70 million. We need a $70 million film every month, hell, every other week. We're not getting that anymore. That's why theaters are closing. Theaters can't make it on Undertone and Memories of Him. It's another dead weekend this weekend. And the second weekend of The Bride, it's going to be down minus 95% or some shit. Who's going to see that? Awful. Go back and watch my streams burying that film. Now it's trendy. Oh, it's so trendy. I trashed that film a week ago. I don't need all of you to come in afterwards. It's woke this, it's woke that. Film's garbage. Don't even bring up woke. It's a horrible film. You're just lessening your argument by saying it's woke. It just makes you weak. Don't do that. Just say the film's trash, period. Whether it's woke or not, it's trash. Unwatchable. Embarrassing across every level. Maggie Gyllenhaal should not work anytime in the near future. We talked about that already. Maggie Gyllenhaal should never be given a film that has a budget above $6 million going forward for like the next 5 films. I don't trust you to make anything after that shit. Awful. Fucking awful film. Let's see. I got a couple more, and then yeah, MI7 underperformed 100%. A lot, dude. It's all these films. It's not just Sophic. You know this. I'm the guy who wants to tell you everything's great. This whole channel is called Look Up in the Corner. Can you guys see it? It says Midnight Movie Talk. Movie, not streaming. Have I watched the new streaming film from Netflix, the white guy soldier thing, whatever the fuck it's called? I don't watch. I haven't seen it. Alan Richson. Not watch. Maybe I'll watch it. Nothing else out. But the thing is I want to tell you good news. I don't know why. Why do I have to be built with a real, authentic, I can't bullshit chip where everybody else seems to be rose glassed, as I ironically wear the rose glasses tonight? Right? Why is it that I have to be in it? He's like, well, you're being negative. No, I'm being real. If you don't see these problems, if you think that this 35-day at max window guarantee is a cure-all from Universal, dude, you don't stop. You need to be a better critical thinker. I'm just going to say, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Unfortunately, you've got to understand this. The majority of people in the world are pretty fucking stupid. Just straight up. It's just the reality of it. You have to understand that. If you don't understand that everybody is not brilliant, okay, most are very much under that, then that's where you start getting all of this praise for things that don't deserve it, for people that don't see things that are clearly right there. They just don't get it. I go back to, listen, this is my show at this point. I'll do what I want. We'll talk about COVID for a minute. Let's do that. How many of you bought into all that bullshit from day one? I can tell you right now, not me, and that you know I didn't. Go back and read my tweets. I had to delete shit because they were going to blow me off of Twitter because I was like, this is a propaganda campaign. And so many people were like, oh my God, no! Like our boy Frosty. Don't go to the movies. You could kill everyone, including grandma, grandpa, and their relatives. You gotta, these people just are so easily led. They are spoon-fed shit from the propaganda machine. That's the world we live in, okay? And someone like me who speaks out against that and clearly is not a fan of the stuff they push, and it has nothing to do with woke, it has to do with like electric cars. Look, I just went after electric cars this week. People like, oh, electric cars. I'm never going to own an electric car. It's never happening. Zero. It's never happening. Do you hear that? So here's the deal. If you have an electric car, awesome. Do not push that shit on me. That's your deal. You want to go wait for your pump outside the Walmart that I go to, where there are quite literally 10 to 15 plus cars waiting for their fuel. Because yes, power fuel, fueling the car. You look at that and you're talking about a waste of your life as you sit there in a line waiting to fill up and then sitting and waiting for it to fill up. Do it if you want. No way. Not happening. And at the gas station, I'm in and out. Don't hit me with it's green. Have you seen the damage that Earth takes to get one battery, the lithium mining? Do I need to pull those pictures up? You guys don't buy into this propaganda. The electric car shit is pure propaganda. And unless you have a charger at home, you have no business in one, except you bought into the nonstop electric car propaganda. Do you think this is going to get me moving up in views? You think this is going to elevate me? I'm on X right now. It's going to completely, it's gone. I hammered electric cars the other day. No joke. Every single tweet had like 100 reaches. It doesn't matter because have you seen that meme where it's like the guy who sends tweets and doesn't care? I don't send tweets or do streams or do anything to get a like, to get a view. It's never happened. Why would I care about that? I am doing a service for myself to trash this shit when I come out of it. Or conversely, uplift it if I like it. If you like it, awesome. But it's not about that. So I don't care. Because if I did, I certainly wouldn't go on X, owned by Elon Musk, and say electric cars are propaganda machine, hype, crazy bullshit. I'm not buying it. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. Not on Twitter. So, but I don't care. Like, I'm going to say these things. Like, because again, if you have an outlet, if you have a way to express yourself, why would you restrain yourself to be liked, to be viewed, to be, it just doesn't matter. What matters is that we fight back against some of this shit, the propaganda that we're fed. And I was trying during COVID, and so many of you didn't join. And that's why we were put where we were. We really did. The only reason we got off of that is because enough people finally said, we're done. We're going back. We are not doing this shit anymore. The only reason the vaccine mandates fell apart is because people said no, okay? And that is why we ended up where we are versus where they really wanted to take us, because there were enough brave people who said, no, that's enough. We're not doing this shit. And we need more of that. We need more people like that. And if you haven't figured out that I'm one of those people by now, I don't know what to tell you. And the fact that Film Twitter, one of the big reasons Film Twitter really dislikes the man on the mic right now is because I do possess those qualities. I don't need your approval. And I will do what I damn well please, okay? And I've never in my life considered the opinion of someone else in what I am doing. I do it and I move on, because unless I'm doing something damaging, harmful, criminal, and I don't think saying mean words about a film is, although you ask the young generation, these are words of violence. This is mean. You can't be mean. We were told our whole lives that we were great. We're so talented. We are so brilliant, all of us. Maybe not. You know that trophy you have? Everyone got one. It's meaningless, right? And that's why, again, we go back to the film space. You talk about so many people, especially the young people in the space. They haven't proven themselves. They really have no talent. A lot of people, you just read them and you look at them and you go, what are you doing? I watch YouTube channels. I go, what are you doing, dude? Why are you doing this? Who said you should do this? And I've never said, listen, I'm all about go for it. But at some point, you got to look in the mirror and be real, right? You have to say to yourself, maybe I'm not so good. I've done this live stream how often, right? How many people do you know that could do this live stream for how long we've been on now? 40 minutes or so? I've done in 3 hours, where they're able to keep going without any help, a slight break of a trailer. It's not easy. It takes a lot of bandwidth, and you have to be authentic, because if I was not authentic, I would be making shit up and you would be like, this is bad, because I can tell it's bad. And you might think it's bad. It's fine. It sometimes, most times is, but it still is authentic, because I'm making stuff up that I'm really laboring, because I'm like, what am I going to say, because I don't believe these things. If you believe these things, it just pours out of you because you believe all this stuff. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's do the comment blast closeout. I'm going to save myself for Sunday. We get a big Sunday night, so it's time for the comment blast closeout here on this Thursday night. I'll hit as many comments as I can here, and thanks for watching. As always a pleasure. I wish I could say Undertone was better. It's just not, and again, I just am disappointed that I went. I don't usually say that. You know, The Bride, yeah, I was disappointed, but at least I got to get really worked up. I can't even really get that worked up about this film. I can just say that if I paid to see this film, I'd be very, very disappointed in what I received on the back end. So there we go. That's tonight in a nutshell. Let's get to as many comments as possible. And I bought the propaganda for about the first month. You know what? Listen, good. At least you only bought it for the first month, All Elite. I bought it from literally day zero. I did not buy any of it. Didn't happen, because I remember distinctly, they shut down everything. Remember that Monday they shut it down? Guess where I was on Monday? I rode my bike to the park and I started doing push-ups and pull-ups. You're not taking the gym from me. I go to the gym on Monday. You're not taking it from me. And I told you guys, the Burbank police rolled up on me when I was working out at Johnny Carson Park, and they came up and they were like, why are you here? Someone called and said you're working out in the park. I said, yeah, I'm working out in the park. And the officer was like, well, how long are you going to be here? I go, I don't know, like another 15, 20 minutes. He goes, okay. He goes, who called? I go, that guy over there. It's like a groundskeeper. I go, that dude right there. And the cop goes, okay, got in his car and left. And I looked over at the groundskeeper and I went, fuck you, bitch. Don't fuck you. See, this is what happened during that time, right? People like groundskeeper Willie over there. Like, oh my God, these people are so awful. Remember the people who used to take the videos? This person doesn't have their mask on. They're the worst people ever. You know what? Like I tweeted out today, you've seen it, it's going around. It says, how you acted during COVID is who you are. I can tell you this, that makes me a fucking badass. Because I went up the street to the bar that was open here in Burbank. I went with Gore. I told you guys that story. I went with Gore. People were yelling at us on the street. People on the street were yelling, going, you're killing everybody. We were going to the bar to have Miller Lights in the back. It was awesome. The whole back porch was packed full of people that were just like, we're not doing this shit. and people in their cars going by, scared, propaganda-filled people. You guys are gonna kill everyone. You guys are the worst. Remember? I hope you die. Well, who's the bad guy? Who's the bad guy? Exactly. So, yeah. And a lot of you did. A lot of you pushed that. Remember that? If you're not vaccinated, you're an awful person. You don't deserve to have anything in society. If you said that stuff, that's who you are. Just know that. At the end of the day, it proved it. I agree with that. And that wasn't me. I didn't do those things. So I always talk about being a force of light. I am. But what I am is a force of light against the people. I really love to shine the light on darkness. I love it. I cherish it. You know, I'm not doing Nick Shirley or whatever his name is going around with all that. I just don't have the ambition to do that. I'm lazy as fuck. But I can tell you this, I would have no fear doing it. None. And that's the thing about film Twitter, right? They're timid, generally just soft people. And I'm not. Never going to be like that. And if you don't like that, too bad. Disappear. Doesn't matter to me. It's my channel. It's not my job to make you happy. It's your job. So whatever that is, it is. All right, more comments here. Tonight's just one of these streams. I've just been in kind of a funk where I've just been kind of surly. I'm not going to lie. But it's surly for a reason. Because I'm so tired. Like, you could look at the Oscars this Sunday. We're going to talk about it afterwards. But you talk about Sinners in One Battle. These are two. If you would have told me these are the two Best Picture guaranteed, one of these two is going to win Best Picture. When I saw those films, first of all, I would probably agree PTA. I would never have thought Sinners in a million years. And we talked about why Sinners is there. We know why. It's 100% why. Do not pretend that it's not. If you pretend that it's not, you are being so disingenuous. Well, I mean, delusional if you don't know you're being disingenuous, but you're also being disingenuous. You just don't know it. There's a very big reason. You guys know why. That film has no business as a Best Picture winner, none whatsoever. From a screenplay perspective, I just can't even. I can't. I mean, you wonder why I don't care about the Oscars. You got Nora, you got Sinners, you've got. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? What are we fucking doing? I'm just so tired of a world of hype where the hype doesn't match the actual product. It gets old, right? It just really gets so tiresome where you're told all these things and then you go, this is propaganda. We live in a world of propaganda, 100%. You know, it's just everywhere you look. Theatrical run should be 90 days for a film. You're never going to get that again, Jason. You're just not. You're going to get at most 45. I talked about that. You could have gotten 60, back in 2023. I think you really could have gotten 60. But you got Adam Aaron, and it's an unforgivable crime what he did. It's too late. You cannot go back. You had the time. You had the leverage. It's too late now. There's no leverage now. Theaters are closing. They're going everywhere. Just Google or go to Twitter. Put in movie theater closing. People are tweeting about it everywhere. It's everywhere. My local theater's closing. I pick here in LA. AMC Northridge. Luis, who watches the channel, said Northridge is dead. Northridge used to be a big theater. If you remember, during Entourage, they went to Northridge to watch Aquaman. Right? And then it beat Spider-Man. Remember that whole angle? They went to Northridge, if I'm not mistaken. They were way up in the valley, which is way up there. Northridge is dead. Nobody there. AMC Burbank's the only place that's still going off because it's the number one AMC. You just talk about it's a different place, but everywhere else, not so much. What are your early thoughts on Disclosure Day? Welcome to the channel, by the way. It is written KGV 1611. If you look at Spielberg and you eliminate Fabelmans, Fabelman's not a good film. And you look at something like A West Side Story, the slickness of that film. What a edit! Oh man, the edits on that. And I think even didn't Tarantino say that's like a great film from an editing standpoint? We called that out from when we first saw that, right? It's the production value of that film is just so slick. And really the edits are just magnificent in that West Side Story, the remake. But hopefully we get something we love. We just started doing our new channel, which is called Midnight Mystery Talk, and that is available for you on YouTube if you go search Midnight Mystery Talk. We'll do that from time to time. I'm not guaranteeing a day or anything, just be whenever it comes up. This is what it looks like. If you guys missed it on Sunday, this is what our Sunday night background looks like, right? Because I can switch all the backgrounds here. Give me 1 second, I can find it. I gotta put it up. You guys ready? Here comes the Midnight Mystery over. Hold on. Here it is. This is what it looks like when I do that show. Like, whoa, what? So this is like the full wattage Midnight Mystery Talk. Tonight I'm calling this new one. This is called Scary Movie. Anytime we have a scary movie, we're going to go with the dark red, the red and black to match tonight's kit, Atlas. This is a cool kit, right? I really like this one. It's got tons of sponsors. This is Charlie. They handle a lot of the Liga MX teams. And this thing is like I love red and black. Black on red, red on black. You got that new one. I just had the Bayern Munich the other night. These are like my favorites. And it also works with the purples and the reds and everything that we have kind of going here is our favorite. Although that said, we still have blue. Look, we have blue. We have light blue. We have purple. You name it, we've got everything. Can I just say, you guys know it, and you better give me credit before we get out of here. There's no one in the space who is better at graphic design and performance than the Ace. Nobody. Name somebody. There's nobody in the space who can do both. Oh, I'm sorry. And the fashion. Thank you. So Film Twitter's literally like, this guy's the worst. Why? Why do you think that? Because I'm opinionated? Because I call you guys nerds? What's the problem? By the way, I was a nerd. Yeah, I know what. But imagine this. I was definitely more on the nerd side. But guess what? Some of us went to the gym. We didn't sit around and eat ho-hos all day. And some of us made ourselves better physically so that we were able to, outgrow maybe the nerd thing. We still are nerds at some level, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. That's the great thing about the gym. It's an equalizer. It can make you something more than what you were. And I'm not saying you're more because of muscles, but you are. You look better. Everyone treats you differently. You kidding me? Come on, guys. Don't tell me that you don't understand that. When you have the appearance, ask at Ryan Gosling. You go look at Ryan Gosling early in his career, and you look to when he started making Drive. He started hitting the weights. He's really thin, and he puts on a little bit of bulk, and now he's like a big dude. Like, Ryan Gosling's not little. He's about 6'1". He's built. Ryan Reynolds, same thing, big, thick dude. Not thick like fat, like just bigger guy. And so it gives you that heft on the big screen. And I would argue in real life, I mean, people treat you differently. You don't think that people treat me differently. First of all, what do you think Film Twitter would do if I was literally 250 pounds? What do you think would happen? They would constantly rail, hey, fatty, hey, fatty, hey. It's the first thing they go to. Hey, they just don't have that. They have to go to, he's a jerk. They don't have anything. I've taken everything away from them. When you have a six-pack, they don't know what to do. Well, that's because I work. It's not but I love, that's another angle. You don't think I like that? You don't think I love that shit? Where you guys are like, the haters are like, I just don't know what to do. I can't attack what I normally attack. You're fat. They say old. Yeah, but guess what? Name someone who's in better shape than me at my age. Go for it. You can't. Nobody. Not in the film space. For fuck's sake, definitely not in the film space. Like, come on. Are you guys kidding me? All right, couple more comments. We're out here. Sorry. Listen. Weber's being fucking arrogant. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. You need to carry yourself with confidence in this world. Okay, that's all there is to it. Spielberg lost his touch after War of the Worlds. Look, let's just quickly, since we're doing this, I'll just go back and look at Spielberg last few. Obviously I can go and you look at, I think War of the Worlds is a great film for the first half. I don't love it when we get into the basement. When we get into the cellar, I'm not a huge fan of that film. But I think overall, it is a strong film. I liked it. I think it's one of his better films. Not one of his best, but certainly in the top. It's closer to the top than to the bottom, okay? But again, first half better than second. Hold on, let me get the entire... God, this is the long... Can you guys see this? This is the longest Wikipedia entry I've ever seen in my life. You can imagine. With Spielberg, right? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get... Hold on. Where's this? Just give me the filmography. Why do I have to look through 7,000, scroll through 7? Hold on, it's got to be right here. Spielberg, where is it? Jurassic Park. No, first of all, Minority Report for sure is one of his best. I loved Artificial Intelligence as well. One of the things, Bridge of Spies, overrated. Post, definitely overrated. Forgot he even directed that. Lincoln, Catch Me If You Can, solid, but that's early, right? You're right. I mean, you look at that, you're pretty much right when you start talking about everything after War of the Worlds. Ready Player One, I've only seen like the first hour of that. I need to go back and watch the entire thing. For whatever reason, it just was one of those films I just was kind of like, I didn't ever get around to the theater. And once it was in the theater, I didn't want to watch it. I started at home and I go, I wish I watched all this at the theater because it's a bigger film, right? Big. But yeah, I mean, you can make an argument for that. Bridge of Spies, Post, they're not Catch Me If You Can. Catch Me If You Can's really great, right? Thank you, Jacob. I'm glad you agree with me. But listen, again, if you have an electric car, it's fine. But I'm saying don't allow me to say that I don't want an electric car and I see all of the faults with an electric car. Sitting there like pumping it full of, I don't want to waste time. Welcome to the channel, Ant Van Story. Minority Report's a masterpiece, 100%. No. Well, here's the thing is, I haven't seen Project Hail Mary yet, but I would, without question, I am with you, Tori, about Minority Report. Right? Honestly, if you ask me like 10 movies, what 10 films do you have? Minority Report would probably be on that top 10 because it is just a masterpiece in sci-fi. It's a lot of things that's, listen, here's the thing is, I'm going to see Project Hail Mary, but I already know it's going to be Interstellar and E.T. So I just want to see if it does something that surprises me. If Project Hail Mary does nothing that surprises me, I'm gonna say I liked it. It's got all the feels, but it feels like it hits the beats a little too expectedly. And we'll talk about that when we talk about it Sunday. I'm either going to see it tomorrow or Saturday in 70mm. I have a ticket for tomorrow, but I might push to Saturday. I don't know if I want to see a movie. After watching Undertone, I need a break. We talk about this. Sometimes you see a movie and you just need a break. But yeah, I mean, right? And that's the thing. I mean, I haven't even seen it yet, but I'm just saying, I am not easily manipulated. Right? And get back to COVID. So I think if you are easily manipulated within emotionally, certainly with a film, you bring the score up. I mean, I'm saying I can't fall for that, but I'm saying I still always ask myself, is this earned? Is it real? Is it authentic? Because if it isn't, then I'm going to say, I feel manipulated. Go back to Hamnet, right? Film that is 100% manipulative and is Oscar bait, grief porn. Not a fan of Hamnet. And everything about that is pulling on you so hard. I mean, listen, you talk about Wuthering Heights. There is a lot of emotion in that film. I know a lot of you don't like the fact that the characters aren't likable. That's the book. But I can tell you this, anyone who's loved and lost, and if you haven't, then maybe you're not going to have the experience. I have loved and lost, okay? And when you lose your love, when you don't have that person in your life and you miss them, you understand Wuthering Heights. You feel Wuthering Heights. And I talk about this often with a lot of critics. They haven't done some of these things. So if you've never done these things, then how do you expect to access a film like Wuthering Heights if you haven't loved and lost? Because you're not going to have the same experience. You're going to say, I don't like these characters. I've never been in love. I don't like it. And that's fine. I'm not saying you had to have been in love. Some people haven't. But if you have, then you will be able to access that part of your emotional experience and use it within the framework of the film. And I think that's what we're trying to do. The best films do that. After Sun's another great example of that. The father-daughter relationship. Whether you're the father or whether you're the daughter, you can relate to that film, especially the longing of someone who is passed, because that's the ultimate finish of After Sun. And that's there. But if you didn't have a relationship with your father, even though Paul Mescal's character as the father there is certainly a flawed, depressed dude, but still, if you don't have that relationship, then you're not going to access After Sun the same way. You see what I'm saying? So all these things have to, you draw on these things. And if you don't have these things, these experiences, and all you do is watch movies, you don't have the real life experience to submit to the film for you to then access what the filmmaker's trying to make. Well, that was good. God, there's just times where it's free flowing and it's just like Weber. I might have reached the level of deep focus lens with that last thing. I think right now we've elevated to the level of deep focus. Deep focus lens in the house. Where's my boy Coach tonight? This is going to be a short stream. Johnny, it's because all of a sudden I just start ranting and raving about COVID and because I'm just on a bender now. No, it'll be all over soon. I honestly, I might go back and finish this. But because I was gonna give it away, but because I have to sit through all these questions, I might keep it myself and then give away another way. I'm not kidding you. This is the longest survey for Undertone tonight. I keep saying Aftertone, After Sun Undertone. But they send, so I'm going to finish this. It's the longest survey for a $5 gift card, whatever. I'll get a Target gift card and go buy some protein bars. Hey, funny story. Quickly, Kevin. This is the last thing tonight, and I'm going to get ready to go. Guess who was at my movie tonight? Chris Gore. You talk about awkward. You guys ready for the awkward shit? I'll turn on the music. That's enough of that song. I've heard it 3 times now. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I was in the bathroom at AMC 16, and I'm like, buttoning my pants, getting ready to walk into Undertone, and guess who's right there? Chris fucking Gore were the only two people in the restroom. And he looked this way. I walked right past him. I'm not kidding you. Not a word was said. We just walk right past each other. Is that not like it is? If you guys were watching, you'd be like, holy shit, that's hilarious. Because I talk all this shit. But I said, we were literally in the same space. I wasn't going to start shit. We're in a bathroom. Okay. But I just said, we're in the same movie. It's fine. It's like these film Twitter people. Difference is the film Twitter people, like, by the way, quickly, as Perry Nemiroff, let's quick before we leave. I do want to find out if Perry Nemiroff has announced what movie she is not seeing this weekend. Let's hold on. Remember, she didn't see Scream. We need to find out if she has said she's boycotting the film. Let's go look. Now, she has now blocked us, so it's a little bit harder to get access to her account, but we'll see what we got here. By the way, I do not stalk Perry Nemiroff. I'm only doing it because I really am curious. Is she going to boycott a movie every week? Because if she is, then that'll be fun. That'll be an exciting night here. Here we go. Let's find out if she's done that. By the way, I feel like did you hear how I delivered that? It was very Ellen-esque, right? Right. I can sometimes trust me, that's not necessarily good, but it feels Ellen-esque. Okay, get ready. Here we go. Let's find out. See, she's blocked us, so that's a problem, right? Can you see that? Let's find out. She says, we're back. We're excited about it. She's at South by Southwest. She's got her mouth agape. She's at a rundown park with no grass. Okay, here she is. This is disappointing. There's one thing we expect from Perry is for her to say what film she's gonna boycott this weekend. This is very unprofessional of her. It's one thing that we dragged her for being unprofessional, for not seeing Scream and making it all performative. But now that Perry's not announcing what movie she's gonna boycott for the week, how am I supposed to know what not to see? Perry, you set a brand new precedent. You let us know that you don't, so we need to know what film you're boycotting. In fact, this could be a segment of your stream. Perry's boycott of the week. And she says, here's the reason I'm boycotting this film, because this director did this, and this actor did this, and this is why I'm not watching the film. Wouldn't you guys love that? Wouldn't that be really fun? I don't know. That's a great question, Ollie. Now I'm going to go past an hour because I'm going to just absolutely drag Perry for a little longer. Weber, it's just not nice. You're so mean. I don't know what's wrong with you. What happened? Why were you thrown on your head when you were a child? Because she made it all about her, and I don't want to see the movie because I don't like how they dealt with the actress. And then she was like doing an interview going, I can't wait to see it. The whole new cast is amazing. Perry, performative, not acceptable, laughable, but Perry's propaganda. How about she does that? Could Perry do that? Perry could do a segment. Listen, we are giving Perry Nemiroff ideas for her highly rated, I'm kidding, she doesn't have that many views, but she has more than us. So this is me giving views to her. This is a benefit. She's already ahead of us. Okay, guys? She's not better in content. Definitely not that. But Perry's propaganda, and she spills her propaganda about whatever movie she's trying to push because she is going for a female director. Oh my God. See, this is just quickly before you wrap. This is why I can never go to a critic screening, because Perry will be there and she'll be like, that guy is the worst person in the world. I can't have him here. He's been dragging me. I mean, look, if you look at it this way, I've dragged everyone on film Twitter. So what are we talking about? They can come drag me, but like I care. Because the difference is I'm legit. These other people are not. This is someone who's employed by Collider who has to glaze every single film. She doesn't hammer anything. She said The Bride was great. I mean, what? What are we talking about? AI, listen quickly on that, because I do want to mention that, because I don't know if we ever come back to AI again. But not AI, the film. So when you look at AI, you're talking about, I think when that film blew me away is when you go and you look at Haley Joel Osment in the ocean, right? He's down there all the way submerged, and you see the passage of, 1,000 years? It's been forever. I've not seen this since it was in theaters. But you look at that passage of time, that moment hit me in a way that I couldn't even comprehend, right? you think about our time on this planet, and it's so short. Right now, I'm doing some Midnight Mystery Talk, but it's so short compared to the actual history of the planet. And by the way, the history of the planet is a lot longer than what they've told us. It's not at all what they've told us. Just so no, we've talked about that before. No question about it. The history of the planet is not what we've been told. Okay, not even close. But here's what I'm gonna tell you: is that whole sequence of like him longing for mom, he's stuck, he can't get out, he's at the bottom of the ocean, and it's like all these years pass. It's like, oh, my head like exploded because you don't think about that stuff often. We always live in the moment, and we live in like in what's tomorrow. You're not thinking about 1,000 years from now. What the, just like, right? Go back to Ghost Story. One of the reasons I love that film, the end of that film, where you just get all of that passage through time, right? From the house to the skyscrapers to everything that's been on that spot over the years. That's what Ghost Story does. The expanse of time, AI, the expanse of time. Those things are what I love. Not the Zemeckis film Home. Oh, did you guys see that shit? That was one of the worst films. It's not how you do it. That's really not how you do it. But was it called Home? What the fuck was that called? Here. Oh, did you guys see that shit? Was so bad. Oh, no. But Ghost Story, AI, the expanse of time in that pictorial representation just blew my mind. I mean, just absolutely just fried it. And I just remember still to this day watching that and just feeling this feeling of like, wow, we are so fucking small, right? And I think that's kind of the thing too. When we are so small, why do we care? I certainly don't care. For the love of film Twitter, that's something I will never care about. Thanks for being here on this Thursday. We're back on Sunday. The big show. I got to an hour. Listen, I don't know how it happened, Johnny. It happened. That's all I can tell you. I don't know how. It's magic. I started going off on COVID and all this shit, and now we're at an hour. Somehow this review of Undertone has turned into what it did. That's the magic of MMT. Thanks for being here. Sunday night, listen to this. The biggest show we've ever had. Post-game show, Oscars. As soon as it's over, we're on live. X and YouTube. Promise. Next, the live MMTE of Project Hail Mary, the huge film from Lord and Miller, who we love. We think they're the best comedy writers, certainly of recent note, to come out of Hollywood. And I am so looking forward to this film. I'm just afraid that the hype, masterpiece, might be a little much. But we'll discuss that on Sunday. We'll do it live. Oscars, Project Hail Mary, Sunday night. Until then, peace out. I'll see you back here Sunday, though, for the box office show, which will be so short because there's nothing going on. So boring this weekend. Theaters are in trouble this weekend. But don't listen to the AMC stock shows. They'll tell you they're doing great. To the moon. Good